Good evening. Welcome to the Professor Maima Show. Hope you are doing well wherever watching me around the world. On this Monday, hope your week has started well, you are doing well. So I'm talking about big money for Kenyan Gen Zs. I'm talking about this big money for Kenyan Gen Zs. What do I mean that? For the past 3 weeks, we have had some very big demonstrations by the Kenyan Gen Zs. They have been demonstrating against it was first of all the Finance Bill 2024 that's supposed to raise taxes for people who are working, even in private sector, so that the country can be able to pay its loans. You know, Kenya is in debt of nearly 10 trillion Kenya shillings. So now these young men and women went to the streets, demonstrated until the demonstration was so big that they were covered by international media. The Gen Zs, Kenyan Gen Zs, young men and women below 30. So when they demonstrated, at first it was peaceful, and then after a while it was infiltrated by thugs and all that. Okay, people were saying, I don't know, people had paid the thugs to enter into the demonstrations. But what happened is that eventually it became violence. Young people died, a big number, around 40 and above. Many hundreds were injured. So it made even the president to withdraw the bill. But that was not enough. The Gen Zs want him to dissolve his cabinet, to fight corruption, create jobs, to ensure there's no police brutality. So many things. I can list them here. There are like even 20 demands by the Kenyan Gen Zs. But now me as your older brother of the Kenyan Gen Zs, I started voting in the year 1997. I was aged 18. I don't know, that we were called Gen X. We always thought that we'd be young because we were the generation that had embraced technology. That's why people above 40 are called Gen X. Were the people who embraced internet. The Gen Z think they don't want the internet. As we had the internet, Facebook, it was coming. Facebook was coming up. Twitter was also coming up, but mostly the internet. I remember Yahoo, eBay, pen pals on media. It was very small. It was coming up. So my point to the Kenyan Gen Z is that you have made your demands. For me, there I look at it, they were saying I started voting in 1997, I was aged 18, but now I have nothing. I own nothing. No big money, no land, no nothing. I own nothing. Let's start from that. Now, because I own nothing, I want to tell the young people this. The government, all their ears are on you. They are listening to you. The ears of the government are on the Kenyan Gen Zs. What do you want? Don't waste this opportunity. If you want to get power, you should get it in the year 2027. That's when now your votes will matter. And also there will be generational change. That will be 2027 election will be an election of generational change. So if you're a young man below 30, you organize, ensure you have your Twitter space, you started on Twitter, come up with proposals to build yourselves. Me have an idea. You had a very good concert in Uhuru Park. Wouldn't it be nice if you had 47 Uhuru Parks in Kenya, whereby it's just not performance recreation, it's also spaces where people do talent, do skills, maybe dances, do plays, things that are creative, do music. Let me tell you a story. There's this great Kenyan musician who used to be on Ogopa DJs. It's called the late Issa. He just started from the estates. That's what I'm saying, bottom up. So that's what I'm saying. Tell the government this is what we want. We want funding, serious money to create spaces for the youth spaces. You're the Gen Z, you know what word you can give those spaces. Places, talent centers. In fact, let me say talent centers, whereby young men and women can come perform their art and get something small. Imagine if you attend a concert or in your counties where people are doing some talent, dances and music. I remember back in the day, early 2000, used to have very such things at Kenya National Theatre, but it died. People come and perform and will pay 100 shillings, $1. So imagine if you pay even $1 and there are 1,000 of you watching your fellow colleagues do their talents, entertain you. That's 100,000 every weekend, 400,000 per month. These young men and women can survive. They can save in circles and start owning land. Those circles of talent circles, it's called talent groups, can invest their money in circles and then buy land, do investments, or invest back in their what? In their craft. Back in their craft. Because imagine 1,000 people paying $100 shillings, that's $1 every week just to watch your colleagues perform. It can even be less people, but this money. That's bottom up. So from there you will raise great talents like the late Isa. He grew up from the estates. Those days used to be competition between estates. Mugoya, Langata, there used to be Buruburu, California. So people talk about their hoods. That's how the music in the early, it's called Kapuka grew. People talk about their hoods. He was from Langata, South Sea. Others talk about Buruburu. Others talk about California. You understand? That's why I'm saying big money for the Kenyan Gen Zs. Give your proposal to the government. You see now, us as young people, this is our problem. Because if let's assume the demands of giving the government to fire the cabinet, downsize his government, a lot of money will be there. And a lot of money cannot just be everything for running government. It also be for programs for the youth. Where you are at the table, you have, let's say, it's called youth ministry. Being given billions. This billion should go to the mashinani, county level, so that young men and women can develop their talent and skills. You can also say education, because you have reformed CDF, education should be free from nursery to Form 4. And then universities, more students should be in universities, whereby the government subsidizes even 70% of the fees. Leave this alone, whereby they don't, I don't know how much they subsidize, I don't know even what. Nursery to grade 12, Form 4, totally free. University, the government subsidizes the school fees for everyone, regardless from a rich family, poor family, even to 60-70%, so that the families pay something small. Conversely, education should be free from nursery to university, whereby now people can start, you can get talent, educated people in Kenya, people who have skills, people who have qualifications, because it starts first of all with the knowledge you have in your college or university, and then the skills and talent, training. I don't know, they're called what? You call the artisans, you call the skilled labor. This labor can be used to develop our country. And even if the ones who want to go abroad, they can go, but not everyone. See, there's this misconception that we just export labor. Kenya is not developed. We're a third-rate poor country. That's why we call it third world. However, ask yourself, is third world, first world? There's nothing in between. Kenya should be at the same level with those big countries we used to be told stories that at independence, Kenya, Singapore, and South Korea were at the same level. In fact, Kenya gave some grant to South Korea. Now, if you hear such fairy tales, then you are being cheated. There's no way Kenya and South Korea and Singapore were ever at the same level. Those countries just got their independence, and they were now forming. Already they had structures, so it was an issue of just implementing. That's why South Korea can manufacture electronic products, vehicles, and that cannot even manufacture anything, even clothes we import. We are second-hand clothes. That's why I'm talking about big money for the Kenyan Gen Zs. Give your proposals to the government. Money should go into youth programs at county levels, There should be free education from nursery to university. You should invest in skills as young people. When that money comes to you, use it for your skills development, get resources, get land, because it begins with money and ends with money. And you'll know this in 2027. So it begins with money and ends with money. So this is the Professor Maima Show. If you like what you have heard on this channel, send something on the mobile M-Pesa down there. +254 769 729 327. I'll repeat again. Mobile M-Pesa +254 769 729 327. And as I always say, Gwaheri ya kuonana, gwaheri.